Hello everyone, I'm Dee and welcome to my kitchen. Today I am going to share my take on the Hasselback potato. So let's get to the recipe. The potatoes I will be using today are russet potatoes. Why do I choose russets? I choose russets because I like the texture, the sturdiness, the size, and you don't peel, so you want something that looks appealing. We will start with the russet potato, and basically Hasselback means that I've made the slices through the potato. You want to be careful not to cut all the way through the potato. If you do, it's okay. Cooking should be fun and you can work around that. You basically want to slice 3/4 way through the potato and make your wedges. You want to try and make them uniform, but if you don't, that's okay. It's going to take a while to bake regardless. So as I said, I've got my russet potatoes. As you can see, I've already sliced through them. I will be cooking in my cast iron. I love doing my cast iron. If you don't have cast iron or don't prefer it, any baking dish will do. All the other ingredients that I'll be using today, first I'm using freshly shredded mild cheddar. I prefer the freshly shredded as it's creamier, it melts better, it tastes better. If you'd prefer to change it up and not use the cheddar, any cheddar or any cheeses will do. I've also previously cooked thick cut bacon and diced it. That will also be going into the Hasselback. I believe this is the Hormel Black Label center cut, and once again, it's a thicker cut. I have salt and pepper to taste, as well as diced onions. And the piece of resistance today is my cost sauce. Some may ask what cost sauce is. It is an all-purpose, gluten-free sauce. My husband John created the recipe years ago, and I market it and sell it. It's savory, it's sweet. Of course, it's good for all of your grilling and smoking outdoors. It's also good for appetizers, everything from meatloaf. Obviously, it's versatile. We're using it on the Hasselback potatoes. So there's the cost sauce. So the first thing you want to do before you start doing the recipe, you want to rinse and clean your potatoes. Obviously, you're not going to be peeling them, so you want them to be clean, and then you're going to pat them dry. And you're going to place them in your baking dish or your cast iron. You're going to set your oven to 375 degrees. While that's warming up, you're going to take and make the slices and try to be as uniform as possible in your potato. All the ingredients will not go in at the beginning. I will be putting the salt and pepper on and the olive oil. I'm just going to generously sprinkle them on to season. And if you want to add other seasonings or rubs, it's whatever you would like to taste your potatoes with. Olive oil, and be generous with the olive oil because it does soak up while you're cooking it, so you want to generously put the olive oil on your potatoes. And if you don't get into all of the little slices, that's okay. Depending on what recipe I use several types of potatoes. As I said, I like the sturdiness of this potato for this recipe. If I am doing mashed potatoes, I prefer red skin potatoes because of the creaminess and the consistency of the potato and how it cooks. If I'm doing a full oil pack or another side dish on my smoker or my grill, it doesn't matter. Potato salad, it doesn't matter. But for this recipe, I definitely want to use the russet potato. So now that I've gotten these sliced and you've preheated your oven, while you're waiting for your oven to warm up, the only ingredient that I am going to put in, and if you don't get it into all of the spaces, that's okay. You want to do the majority of them. And that's why you want to cut down 3/4 way into your potato so you can get the ingredients in. The reason I'm doing the onions now, I want them to cook down. I don't want to taste raw potato, and I don't want to taste raw onion when I'm finished. So you try to get these into all the crevices and cracks that you have made. This will cook down. The potatoes, being this size, are going to take at least 45 minutes to an hour to cook. If you use a different type or a smaller type, it won't take as long. So now that I've got the onions in here, I'm going to place this in the oven. And I would cook it approximately 30 minutes. and then I'm gonna pull it out, and at the end, I'm gonna add my other ingredients. So I'm gonna put this one over here, and I have a pan that's already prepared that we can look at. This is a completed that I had in my oven. As you can see, I've added the other ingredients. Prior to pulling out, let's say you're gonna cook it for 45 minutes to an hour, and the last 5 or 10 minutes, you want to add your bacon, your cheese, and the caw sauce. Why am I waiting to the end? Well, I fried the bacon beforehand. If you put it in the middle, in the beginning, or in the middle of the cook, it's gonna get too crispy. The cheese, you want it to melt, but you don't want it to overcook or be dry. So I add those in the last 10 minutes. I sauce them with the caw sauce, and when I pull them out, this is the finished product. If you're interested in this recipe and caw sauce or have any questions for me, please feel free to leave me comments in the comment section. I want to ask you all to please subscribe, and thank you for your support of my YouTube channel. And until next time, this is Dee. Enjoy what you do.